Yeah, we are live.
So shall we start? Or
Yes,
yeah.
yes, please.
Okay, masters. So welcome to another session on autobiography of a yogi, and today we are on part 8. And as the title suggests, 3 beautiful stories. So are you up listening to these 3 beautiful stories, masters? So as always, let's pay our gratitude and humble reverence to the great masters. Let's close our eyes and let's settle our minds and make some space for the wisdom for today. Close our eyes. So masters, gently opening your eyes. So masters, can anyone tell me on which chapter are we today? Please unmute yourself and let me know on which chapter we are today.
Chapter 17.
Very nice, Anaji. And what is the name of that chapter?
Shashi and the 3 sapphires.
Yes, very nice, Anaji. So we are on chapter 17, Masters, Shashi and the 3 sapphires. And we will also cover chapter 18 today, which is a Mohammedan wonder worker. Thank you so much, Anaji. So, Masters, let's begin our session for today by listening the first story. And now, Masters, you know, what usually happens is that when we have a great Guru with us, when we have a great Master with us who is at every moment guiding us, you know, who is making us see the light within, then what do? Is that if when we see any other person who is a little disillusioned, who is facing challenging time, who needs some help, then we also try to direct that person to the Guru, thinking that how we have been so immensely helped by our Guru, in the similar manner, the other person can also benefit from the same. So the similar thing happened with Yogananda. And Yogananda, he had a friend whose name was Santosh. And Santosh's father, Dr. Roy, he was a veterinary surgeon. And Dr. Roy, he was completely agnostic. That is, he had no belief, even not even an iota of belief in God, in a higher force, and he was completely immersed only in the material things, only in the worldly things. But his son, his level of awareness was very high, and he wanted to help his father to see the other world as well. And so he told about his predicament to Yogananda, and Yogananda suggested that why don't you bring your father to Swami Sri Yukteswar? And so they all got, and along with Dr. Roy, they all came to see Swami Sri Yukteswar. And then once they all left, just a moment, Masters. Okay, yes, Masters. So, Masters, then they all came to see Swami Sri Yukteswar. And once they left, then Swami Sri Yukteswar, he said to Yogananda that, why did you bring a dead man to see me? And listening to these words, Yogananda, he was shocked, and he said to Swami Sri Yukteswar that Dr. Roy is not yet dead, he is very much alive. And Swami Sri Yukteswar, he said, but in a very short time, he will be dead. And hearing this, Yogananda, he was disturbed, and he requested his Guru that, you know, this will be a terrible blow to his son. His son will be completely shattered, as he still hopes that his father, he might change his ways, and, you know, he might change his materialistic views. And Swami Sri Yukteswar said that Dr. Roy, that is Santosh's father, he has gone too far in diabetes, and he's not even aware of that. And, you know, he said that in 15 days' time, he will take to his bed, and the physicians will have no hope for his life. And very soon, the time will come just after 15 days, that will be the time when it will be a natural time for him to leave his physical body. But Yogananda, he said, no, Guruji, you have to please help. So Swami Sri Yukteswar, he said that, okay, since you are asking me to help, then on the day when he should depart this physical world, on that day, he will recover. But you must tell Dr. Roy that he must wear an astrological armband that will help him. And then Swami Sri Yukteswar, he also added that once Dr. Roy is completely recovered, then he should not eat any meat. And he also knew that Dr. Roy will not heed to this counsel, and from 6 months from now, he will be drop dead. But Swami Sri Yukteswar said that since you are asking me to help, I am giving him 6 months. I'm giving him an extension of 6 months of his life. And friends, exactly as Swami Sri Yukteswar had predicted, after 15 days, Santosh's father, he suddenly fell ill, and all the doctors who were attending him, they had lost all their hopes as diabetes had gone extreme and had affected his entire body. And Santosh had been all this time, he had been requesting his father that you please wear an astrological armband. And Dr. Roy, he did not pay any heed. He said, no, I don't believe in these things and I'm not going to wear anything like that. And on the 15th day, when Dr. Roy's body had reduced to almost like that of a skeleton, and he himself had lost hopes, then he agreed that, okay, I will wear that astrological armband. And friends, on that day, he recovered as predicted by Swami Sri Yukteswarji. And now Santosh, that is Dr. Roy's son, he told his father that you please do not eat meat now. You don't touch meat and you just go and eat only plant-based diet. And Dr. Roy, he didn't again listen, and he said that it is by actually eating this meat which will help me to regain my lost strength, my lost weight and lost vitality. And for 6 months, he continued with his old habits. And then one fine day, after 6 months, Dr. Roy, he just dropped dead. So friends, this story, what does it tells us? It tells us so many aspects. You know, it tells us that Swami Sri Yukteswar, who although he was a strict disciplinarian, he always held to his ideals and principles. But on the request of his loving disciple, Yogananda, he agreed to give another chance, another life to Dr. Roy. And so this shows that Swami Sri Yukteswar is also very kind at heart. He is compassionate at heart. And then it also tells us that Dr. Roy, who was given this second life, you know, he was given an opportunity to reform himself, to get past his bad habits. He did not honor the second life, and he continued with his bad ways, which resulted that he loses his life. And the very thing happened. So masters, this was the first story, and now is the time to listen to the second story, and I will share my presentation for that. So just give me a second. So are you able to see my screen? Okay, thank you. So now let's hear the second story, masters. So now Yogananda, he had a college friend whose name was Sasi. And you know, Sasi, he used to accompany Yogananda whenever he used to meet Swami Sri Yukteswar in his ashram. And since he used to come so often, then Swami Sri Yukteswar, he also had become very fond of Sasi. But then there was one thing about Sasi, which was that his private life was wild and it was disordered. And Swami Sri Yukteswar had a lot of times advised Sasi to mend his bad habits, to reform himself. You know, he said that otherwise 1 year from now, you will suffer from a very dangerous disease and you will be dangerously ill. And Sasi, listening to these words, he said to Swami Sri Yukteswar that that my spirit is willing, but my will is weak. You are my only savior on earth, and I believe in nothing else. So, you know, what Sasi is trying to say is that though he wants to reform, he wants to get past his bad habits, but he doesn't has that required will to reform himself. And then Swami Sri Yukteswar said that, okay, that then you at least wear a 2-carat blue sapphire, which is Neelam. That you please wear at least this gemstone, it will help you. And Sasi said that, Guruji, I can't even afford to buy this 2-carat blue sapphire. But at the same time, he said that, dear Guruji, if trouble comes, I fully believe that you will protect me. And listening to these words, Swami Sri Yukteswar added that in a year you will bring 3 sapphires, and then they will be of no use then. So, you know what Sasi is saying, that he doesn't has money to buy one gemstone of 2-carat blue sapphire. And Swami Sri Yukteswar is saying that in a year's time from now, when you actually will be so ill, then you will get 3 of them. But at that time, when you will get them, then they will be of no use. So, friends, a year passed, and one day Shashi, he came to Swami Sri Yukteswar with the burst of tears in his eyes and threw himself at the feet of Swami Sri Yukteswar, placing 3 beautiful sapphires, as as predicted by Swami Sri Yukteswar. And he said to his guru that the doctors have said that he has pulmonary tuberculosis. And friends, this disease, pulmonary tuberculosis, it adversely affects the lungs. So Sasi said to Swami Sri Yukteswar that the doctors have said that he only has 3 months to live now. And he requested his guru that please, you only heal me. My life is now in your hands. And then Swami Sri Yukteswar ji, he advised him that you please return these 3 sapphires to the jeweler, as you're of no use now. And at the same time, he consoled Shashi that please, you do not worry, and in a few weeks' time, you shall be well. And Shashi, he very innocently asked Swami Sri Yukteswar if he should take the medicines as prescribed to him by the doctors. And Sri Yukteswar replied that, just as you wish, you drink them or you discard them, it does not matter now, because it is as impossible for you to die of tuberculosis as it would be for the sun and moon to interchange their positions. So, this was the power of Swami Sri Yukteswar. He said that it is possible for the sun and moon to interchange their positions, but it is not possible for you to die of tuberculosis. So, Sasi's condition had become very, very critical, and the doctors who were present to attend Shashi, they told Shashi that you will not be able to last this night, and this is your last night. And Shashi's body had also reduced almost to that of a skeleton. And on that night itself, Shashi, he witnessed the presence of Swami Sri Yukteswar in his room. And at that very moment, all his terrible symptoms were just gone. And with the grace of his guru, he was entirely well. So friends, this is another story of what surrender can do. Who is in ever communion with the divine. And now, with this suffering, Shashi, he realized his mistake, and he realized that his guru only wanted the best for him. And Shashi, he was so, filled with guilt that he did not see his guru for an year, because now he realized that his wayward habits were a cause of his own suffering, and the guru just wanted the best for him. So friends, this was the second story of Shashi and the 3 sapphires, and it shows us that what surrender to the guru can do to you. And it is so much possible for us to manifest or to have anything that we desire if we have no doubt, if we can 100% surrender to the divine, that yes, this thing that we want, it will be manifested. And now, friends, now is the time to listen to the third story. And friends, this story is very fascinating. It is a very enchanting tale which was narrated by Swami Sri Yukteswar to Yogananda. And this is just not a story, it is rather a true account which Swami Sri Yukteswar, he witnessed himself many, many years back. So what happened was that Swami Sri Yukteswar, he told that once there was a fakir. And what is a fakir? Fakir is a Muslim ascetic, a Muslim holy man. And his name was Abil Khan. So what happened one day was that a Hindu sannyasi, he came at the doorstep of Abil and asked for water. And Abil said that, Master, I am a Muslim. How can you, being a Hindu, accept water from my hands? And now this Hindu sannyasi, he was so impressed with the truthfulness of Abil, and he said that I don't believe in the things that divide. That is, I don't believe in religious divide, but rather he said that he believes that we all are one, and it doesn't matter to him whether anyone is a Hindu or a Muslim. So this saint, he observed the fakir for some time, and he said that you possess good karma from your past lives, and I'm also very happy and I'm also very impressed with your truthful nature, and that is why I'm going to teach you a yogic method that will give you command over an invisible realm, that is an astral realm, with which you will be able to attain great powers. And then the saint, he also added that you have also brought from the past some seeds of destructive tendencies. So he warned the fakir that although this yogic method will give you great powers, but at the same time, you should remember that the seeds of destructive tendencies from the past are there. That is, greed should not overpower you. Otherwise, your path shall go into the wrong direction of being evil. And so Afzal, he very religiously followed this yogic practice for 20 years, and he soon manifested an invisible entity, a genie, that is, what we generally watch in fairy tales or movies. It actually happened few years
Aladdin.
back. Huh?
Aladdin fairy tale.
Aladdin, yes, Aladdin and the genie. Yes, so Afzal, then he soon manifested this invisible entity, a genie, and he gave him the name of Hasrat. And Hasrat was a wish-fulfilling genie who fulfilled every wish of his master. And as was warned by that Hindu sannyasi, greed soon overpowered Afzal's mind, and he started using Hasrat for fulfilling his greed for worldly possessions. And now what used to happen was that whatever object Afzal he used to touch, it would soon disappear without a trace with the help of Hasrat. And in this way, he started misusing his powers. And, whenever he had to travel by rails, so he just used to touch the tickets at the railway counter, and those tickets, with the help of his genie, they would just disappear. And he also then, started taking away the possessions of people he would meet. If any person was wearing any expensive thing, he would just touch it and then it would immediately vanish. As he would just say that, Hasrat, take this away, and that thing just at that moment it got vanished. And then while Yogananda, he was listening to this enchanting story which was narrated by Swami Sri Yukteswar, Yogananda, he asked a very significant and a very important question. He asked that if Afzal, he could so easily secure valuable things like gold or anything that he desired so effortlessly, then why was there a need to steal the possession of others? He could just easily say, Hasrat, okay, get me gold, get me these gemstones, get me these diamonds. What was the need to steal the possessions of other people? It's a very significant question. And Swami Sri Yukteswar beautifully explained that the fakir, he was not spiritually developed. Although he had this mastery over a certain yoga technique which had given him access to this astral plane, through which he had got access to this astral medium which he called Hasrat. And through Hasrat, he used to call upon the atoms of any object from the etheric energy. But the point was that these astrally produced objects, they are made of a different kind of energy. They're not made of the same gross atoms that makes up the physical plane. You're getting the difference? In the physical plane, whatever objects we have, they are made of the gross atoms. But in the astral plane, whatever things we have, they are made up of different atoms, which are the astral atoms. And these astral atoms, they are structurally evanescent. That is, they are made in such a way that they do not have a permanent existence. And their permanent place is the astral plane. So whatever Hasrat he was getting, whatever gemstones, whatever diamonds or precious things he was getting, that he was getting from the astral plane. And after some time, those objects, they would soon get back to the astral plane because they belonged there. That was their permanent place. And now Afzal, he had greed in his mind. He wanted to possess things. And this was only possible when he would steal the possessions of others. So Afzal, he was not a man of God realization. He was not spiritually enlightened. And the miracles that were done by him were not of a permanent nature. They were just temporary tricks. And, you know, Afzal, he was an ordinary man who had gained extraordinary power of getting access to the astral realm, which one usually gets after one leaves one physical body. You know, when we leave a physical body, we go to the astral world, and then that becomes our home for whatever time it is. So he had got access to that astral realm. And now this continued for years at Afzal. He used to trick people and steal their stuff. And even the police, they couldn't help because they didn't had any evidence against Afzal. Because whatever evidence they used to collect against Afzal, he just used to say that, Hasrat, take this away. And now what happened one day was that, you know, so few years passed like that. And then what happened one day was that Sri Yukteswar, he read in the newspaper a public confession of Afzal, and I quote the words of Afzal here. So he wrote that I, Abil Khan, am writing these words as an act of penance, as a warning to those who seek the possession of miraculous powers. For years, I have been misusing the wondrous abilities imparted to me through the grace of God and my Master. I became drunk with egotism, feeling that I was beyond the ordinary laws of mortality. My day of reckoning has finally arrived. And in that public confession, he also mentioned about the event that was responsible for getting this realization to him. So he mentioned that recently he met an old man who was limping painfully. And this old man, he was carrying a ball of gold. And now seeing this ball of gold, greed came in Afzal's mind, and Afzal thought that he has to possess this gold ball. And so he asked this old man that, what is this object that you are carrying? And then this old man replied that this is the ball of gold, and it is the only material wealth that I have. And he requested Afzal that, I have heard about your miraculous powers, so I want you to please heal my limp. And Afzal, you know, who was filled with greed, he said a word, but he just touched the gold ball, and in an instant that gold ball vanished. And that old man, he cried in pain that his gold is now gone. But Afzal, he paid no attention to the wailing of this old man who was limping behind. And just then, Afzal, he heard a very strong voice which said, do you not recognize me? And as soon as Afzal, he turned his back, he was shocked to see that this old man, he just straightened himself, and his body instantly became strong and youthful. And this man was the same Hindu sannyasi that had come to his doorstep asking for water. You know, the same man who had taught him this yoga technique. And he told him that, today I have seen with my very own eyes how you are using your powers not to help the humanity, but to satisfy your own greed. And at that very moment, he withdrew his powers from Afzal. And Afzal, he then realized his mistake and he thanked the master, the Hindu sannyasi, for banishing his delusion, and he prostrated at his feet and asked for forgiveness. He added that he will atone for his evil past and he will now retire to the Himalayas. And this master, he was so loving that after witnessing the sincere will to repent, he granted him a boon that although your powers are gone, but whenever food and clothing are needed, you can still successfully call upon Hazrat. And he blessed and he said to him that now you devote your time wholeheartedly to the divine. So masters, this was the third story. And this story, it teaches us, it gives us so many profound lessons. It tells us about the temporary nature of material wealth. That is, no matter how much worldly riches we may have, but they will never provide us with the lasting fulfillment or satisfaction. And then Afzal's story, it also beautifully highlights the difference between having spiritual powers and having spiritual depths. It reminds us that genuine spiritual growth is far, far more valuable than manifesting miracles, than superficial abilities. And then it also illustrates us so beautifully that the law of nature, which is the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, it is in effect at each and every moment, whether we believe in it or not. So Afzal, owing to his good deeds in the past, he was granted a boon from that sannyasi that you now have an access to an astral realm, and with which you can create, or with which you can access anything. But since greed overpowered his mind and he started misusing his powers, so now he had to pay back for his karma in the form of losing his power. So what he had attained was now gone just because of his bad habits of greed. And then it teaches another profound lesson, which I love the most, which is that no matter what you did in the past, there's always a chance available to us to atone for our misdeeds. Since saints have also been once sinners. So, even people who are considered to be highly virtuous, they also had their moments of imperfections. They also had made mistakes in their lives, but they didn't give up. They continuously worked on themselves, they sought redemption, and they underwent transformation. So friends, these are the tales of hope, and they tell us that spiritual evolution is possible for each and everyone, regardless of one's past shortcomings, regardless of one's past bad actions, provided that you're willing to make that effort, you're willing to realize that yes, you need to get past your bad habits. So masters, this was it for today. And today, masters, we have a very beautiful cosmic chant, which is, "O Master, may thy joy fill our days. O Master, may thy wisdom guide our ways." So today, let us not just hear this cosmic chant, but let us sing this cosmic chant. It's been a while that we all sang. So I will request you, please unmute yourself and also make sure that there are no background noises at your end. So I will start with this cosmic chant, and whenever you are right, whenever you feel, you please join and let's sing this cosmic chant. Let's awaken the spiritual vibrations in us. So masters, are you ready? Yes? Great. So please sing along with me, masters. No, master, may thy joy fill our days. Oh, master, may thy wisdom guide our ways. The time has come for us to see that there's but one reality upon the earth and high above, the truth that all was made from love. A love that calls to us to fly above the hills, above the sky, above the storms, above the pain, a land where peace and laughter reign. Oh, Master, may thy joy fill our days. Oh, Master, may thy wisdom guide our ways. Guide all our hopes, guide all our hopes and all our dreams, past every glow that only seems, into the light, the inner sun, into the truth that we're all one. Help us to find in every hour, in every thought, in every flower, a joy that spans eternity, the truth that makes us ever free. Oh, Master, may thy joy fill our days. Oh, Master, may thy wisdom guide our ways. So, masters, a big clap for everyone. And masters, this cosmic chant has got all of us immersed in a profound state of inner harmony, drawing us closer to the divine and uniting our hearts with love and with spiritual resonance. So thank you so much, masters, for joining in for today. And I open this platform now for your experiences, for any of your sharings. Thank you, masters.
So, masters, if anyone would like to unmute, please, you may raise your hand. Anyone, friends? I think everyone are in that joyful state. So, okay. Yeah. I think the three beautiful stories is really lots of learnings, Ruchi. I have resonated and enjoyed thoroughly when you were explaining, because these are really very important in life to understand, on the first part, how plant-based food is helping on our health and how we have to be completely aware of the food that we are consuming. And it's not only the food, at the same time, when we cook the food, how our thoughts are reciprocating, how, with what sort of energy we are preparing the food, how, like the motherly love, with that intensity, how we are feeling to serve to everyone, that minute details are really important. And that's where we don't know during that time what we have been doing, but the awareness when we are cooking the food and when we are serving, there is interconnectedness also in the lifespan that you were mentioning. That's the first thing that I wanted to mention. And second thing is like, yeah, how Shashi have seen. And, if there is trust in masters, that is just that when a master says something, we just have to surrender. And that's what is happening with all the PSSM masters here. We are on the track, we are on the path of trusting our inner self, knowing ourselves, finding our inner guru, and seeking the same inner guru as if we treat ourselves and seeing everyone as the same. So beautifully explained. And the third one, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful story again on the material possessions. This is what happens also on the worldly side. We think based on the powers, we think that the person is doing great. But the fact is that that core thing will always be there, and we have to stick to our path of what we are doing. Even if 1,000 people does not support us or does not understand us, when we stick to our path, at some point or the other time, life transforms. And that should be the way. And when we stick to our path, everything else will be secondary. And it's beautifully explained. I really like the one thing that any sort of, how the masters keep coming and giving the test. Like we think as if they were giving to us the material possessions, however, it is coming from astral forms, and it does not belong to physical world. It's only temporary. I think it's the same also with our bodies, everything. And that is why we say, like, soul is eternal, right? So so beautifully explained. And while you were mentioning, actually, I was also reading the book. I'm trying to follow the book as well, Ruchi. My goodness, the way that you are just describing easily to us is it's truly an honor for all of us to have you here and explaining so beautifully. And also, one additional thing that I wanted to mention, till now, when you're giving us the titles, I just thought maybe, that reference is being taken from the book. But now I have realized, when today I'm seeing in parallel, how you're coming up with titles, how creative you are, and how you're sharing the stories along with your understanding. Yeah, it's truly a way to go. And last but not the least, I really enjoyed even the chant. Uh, Amazing voice you're having, Ruchi. I think we can just simply meditate with your voice. Thank you so much.
Amazingly, you always put up all the key takeaways in such a precise way, in such a simple way, that you bring out the gist of the entire session beautifully. So, yes, your key takeaways are very precious, they're very valuable. And thank you so much for everything, Nilima.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
And I also read here the messages of Sarah. And yes, I will share this cosmic chant in the group. And thank you so much, Pavani ji, Darshana ji, and Hindu ji, Shrikala ji, everyone, Hindu ji. Yes, Hindu ji, see, I remember the last time you were there, you sang so beautifully, and today I see you, and today also we all sang this cosmic chant. I remember you sang this cosmic chant last time, and you enjoyed it thoroughly. So wonderful, masters. Yes, Anna ji.
Can I ask you, how do you know the melody of the chant? Is it your own or?
Okay, so Master, so Anna ji, so I'm so happy for you to ask this question for the first time on this platform. It gives me immense happiness to have a question from you. So Anna ji, these cosmic chants which we sing or which I play, these are the cosmic chants which are written by Paramahansa Yogananda, and the melodies, everything, it has been either composed by Paramahansa Yogananda himself or his disciple Swami Kriyananda ji. And today's cosmic chant was composed not by Paramahansa Yogananda, but by one of his disciples who was named Mukti. So she composed this cosmic chant to pay her gratitude, to pay her love to Paramahansa Yogananda. So I don't make the lyrics, I don't make the tunes, I don't make anything.
No, but how do you know the tunes? Because by reading the book, we don't get to know the tune, right? That is what I wanted to know.
So I'll share this music with you, and this already has this music, and the tune is already there.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I will share that with you.
Thank you so much.
Anaji. Yes. And these cosmic chants, they are written and they are composed in such a way that just by listening to them, they instantly uplift us. They raise our vibrations. And, I have mentioned about this earlier as well, that there have been so many instances of people who had been suffering from so much diseases and illnesses. And just by hearing these cosmic chants, they were able to come out of their illnesses because of the high vibrations of these cosmic chants. Because, these cosmic chants are written by a self-realized master who is in ever communion with the divine. So when we sing this, we are singing the words of a master, and we also try to get in the same vibrations, and this amplifies our effort to connect with the divine. So yes, that is why I try to bring in these cosmic chants whenever I get a chance.
Can you put that on the WhatsApp, the chant, or send it to me?
Malathi, I will do that. But can you please open your camera? I need to see you once. I haven't ever seen you, Malathi.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where is the camera?
Malathi, yes. Thank you so much, Malathi.
I'm old,
No, not at all. It's physical, this physical earth and physical age is just a number.
I know that.
Yes, and see, Saraji is also saying, you look beautiful, you are beautiful, Malathi.
Thank you.
And Madhu Garu is saying that you are also a professional singer.
Oh no!
Wow, that is something amazing.
Who's saying that? If I sing, all of you will disappear from the Zoom.
No. It's just like, because we sing not to impress others. We just sing because of the joy of what we get when we sing.
I know.
Yeah. So that is why I encourage that everyone should sing. Nobody's here judging. Nobody's here saying that you're going out of sync or you're going out of tune. But just the joy, just the pleasure that, instantly arises in our hearts when we get those words through our lips. It's amazing. And Madhu and Saraji, I would also love to hear you sing once, whenever you feel like.
I've never heard Madhu singing.
Huh?
I've never heard Madhu singing.
Yeah. Okay.
So she has to sing as well.
Yes, she'll also sing. But let's hear today from you, Malathi. Let's hear you sing today. Anything that you would like to sing?
Oh dear, what are you talking about? You caught me in a hop, I think.
No pressure, nothing like that. So if you are comfortable.
You have to wait 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes.
Yes, please take your time, Malathi. Thank you, Shashank. Thank you so much for joining. It was a pleasure to have you. And Masters, are you reading this book simultaneously? Because when you read the book, I told that you will have a deeper understanding. And there's so many lessons that we get to learn from this book. So many of them. And even if we apply a few of them into our own lives, what a profound transformation we can get in our lives that is, just indescribable.
And that is true, Ruchi. It's not about one saint you're mentioning. Every time you're taking a session, you're introducing a couple of people. So yeah, that's true. A lot of understandings, and yeah, this book is really a great transformation.
Yes, true. And even if I have read this book a couple of times, I will tell you that I don't remember. I tend to forget so many things because this is a grand book. And that is why maybe, now I understand why Steve Jobs said that he read this book every single year of his life. That was the only book on his iPad that he used to keep, and he used to read this book every year because it opened up doorways to infinite possibilities. It makes us transcend our physical being and makes us realize the ultimate truth of life. And we know that Steve Jobs, he failed in his life so many times, but when he stood up, he conquered greater heights than what he had conquered before. So now we know that the strength he got was from this book. And that is why, even I try to read this book as much as times, and still I forget so many things because, this is a grand book indeed. Yes. This is a grand book.
I think Madhu raised her hand.
Yes, Madhu Garu, please.
Thank you so much, Ruchi, for every week coming and sharing this wonderful wisdom of this great book, The Autobiography of a Yogi. Your narration, as always, is amazing. I was on and off because I was getting calls. However, I could hear the couple of stories which are very deep. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and I'm going to listen to the chant again as Annaji and as everybody were mentioning the power of the chant. I'm going to listen to the whole session once again, and I'm going to enjoy. Thank you so much, Ruchiji.
Thank you so much, Madhu Garu. Thank you so much for giving this platform.
Thank you. And our dearest friend, Sarah. Sarah is from Egypt. She's living in Abu Dhabi, and Sarah is a professional singer. So,
okay.
So yes, Sarah.
Hi everyone.
Okay.
Happy to have you.
It's nice to connect with you all. Actually, Madhu, I miss you a lot. I miss everyone. I have been very sick. I got a vocal cord infection for the past month, and I'm slowly recovering, which is why I haven't been able to sing as I'm used to. But listening to these meditation sessions and these lessons and the beautiful sharings from everyone, they really helped me, and they do help a lot, even when I'm doing okay, even when I'm not sick, but especially in my sickness, because I feel comforted and supported and held, and I get inspired by everybody's stories and all of these books and articles, and it really helped me a lot, honestly, because I've been isolated by myself for the past month, and just being here with you all is giving me a great source of strength. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. You're really helping elevate humanity and the world as a whole at a time where, things might not be ideal, but we're all here together, and that's what matters, because we grow together and we evolve and we learn. And I guess hopefully next time I'll be able to sing for you all.
Ruchi?
Yes, Saraji, thank you so much. And we would all love to listen to you next time, Saraji.
And me also next time. I can't find my, budget book.
No worries, Malati ji.
In this house, when I want something, I don't find them.
It's okay. It's perfectly fine. But
I will say.
Yes, that is the spirit, Malati ji. Amazing. And I'm so happy to see you today.
Oh dear.
Great, Malati
I thought
ji.
you would have seen me,
No, this is the first time.
Yeah. And you know, you have such a beautiful smile.
Oh, it's your love that gets that smile on my face. So thank you so much for all the love, all the masters.
Yeah, really. You and who else is it? Somebody else has a beautiful smile all the time. And I like that. And I like that.
Yes. Great, Malati. So now shall we start with the meditation?
Yes.
Yeah. Before that, I just
Mhm.
want to know, so we have a couple of viewers on YouTube. So, dear friends, whoever on YouTube, we request you to join on Zoom so that we'll end the live stream now, and we request you to connect to the energies now. We'll start.